Hey kids, Mr. Fly here, hope you're well. In this video, I'm going to give you my top 5 things that I love about the BMW R1250RS. So if you're interested in this motorcycle, stick around and stay tuned. Okay, so number 5 on my list of the top 5 things I love about the R1250RS then. And that is one of the changes that they've made for this, the 1250 model, and that is now the bike is symmetrical looking. I rode this bike a couple of years ago when it first came out, and it's a 1200 guys, and I love the machine, but I didn't like the looks. I didn't like the asymmetric front end that BMW do on their bikes, or used to do. They've moved now to this more symmetrical look, and on the RS I think that looks fantastic. So small point, personal point, may not matter to you, but I think now the looks are so much better. So number 5 on my list of the top 5 things I love about the BMW R1250RS is its symmetrical front end. It's good looks. I think now this looks like a proper touring bike, so thumbs up for that. Okay, to number 4 on my list of the top 5 things I love about the BMW R1250RS, and that is something that I like with pretty much all the current modern BMWs, and that is the electronics package that this bike comes with. This bike is the exclusive edition that I'm riding, so it comes with lots of the electronic bits and pieces you'll want anyway, but this one's also laden with extras like things like the SOS button here, and others too, because this is a demo bike. So this is going to be quite costly, but part of that cost is the amazing electronics. Incredible Bosch lean angle sensitive traction control and ABS, which I just think is a brilliant thing. The amazing BMW TFT, which I'm always raving about. I think that's the best TFT out there. The electronic suspension gives you an amazing ride on this. All adjustable. You can set it up for whether it's just you riding solo, or whether you're with a pillion, whether you've got baggage and so on. If you like electronics on your bike, they don't come any better than what you get on the RS. So that's number 4 on my list, the top 5 things I love about the BMW R1250RS. It's incredible electronics package. Oh, a bit of dual carriageway coming up. Excellent. Oh, this is such a beautiful bike to ride. I love this sports tourer genre. It's a genre that's been sort of in the doldrums, you could say, for the last, I don't know, 10 years. Went out of favour a bit when all the big adventure bikes came along. But I think maybe it's going to have a bit of a resurgence now. Bikes like this, I just think, are beautiful. If you're just doing on-road riding, they're fantastic. Anyway, that's by the by. Let's get to number 3 on my list of the top 5 things I love about the BMW R1250RS. And that's something which is a bit odd, because I'm not a particular fan of the boxer engine, and what I mean is I love the way it rides, but I'm not a fan of the way that you know, the cylinders stick out the side of the bikes. And that's something that would make me think about buying one of these RSs, or indeed a GS or a R9T, any of the bikes that has the boxer engine on it. But there's no doubt that boxer engine is lovely to ride with. But one of these sort of side benefits, the fact that it's a horizontally opposed twin and it's mounted nice and low on the bike, is that the centre of gravity is nice and low. And that makes this bike and its other boxer powered cousins really easy and unintimidating to ride. So even though on paper, let's put that down so you can hear me better, even though on paper these are heavy bikes, they are very unintimidating to ride because the centre of gravity is nice and low. So that's number 3 on my list of the top 5 things I love about the bike. It's just so easy and unintimidating to ride. This is a bike that you don't have to be Valentino Rossi to ride, or a Dutchman on stilts. Even Mr. Average Rider like me, fairly short fella, can ride this heavy bike and feel completely at home, don't feel like I'm going to drop it. I love that about it. So there we go, that's number 3 on my list. Alright, we're getting to the important stuff now. So to number 2 on my list then. What's that? Well, I've already alluded to it. Oh, hello, a couple of bikers up here. What are these boys on? 4 exhaust pipes, big Beamer maybe? Oh, and up ahead of that, 3 exhaust pipes. Looks like an old, not necessarily old, but a Triumph Sprint ST. And behind that, a BMW of some sort. Let's see if they go around the corner. They're not. Oh well. let's go this way. Okay, so to the serious stuff, then number 2 on my list of my top 5 things I love about the BMW RS, and that is this amazing engine. Basically, it's so smooth now. Having just said that I don't like boxer engines, that's just the way they look. The way they perform, you cannot argue with. The low down grunt, the torque is amazing. Oh, this car is going to annoy me, so I think I'll nip past quickly. And that's where this engine absolutely comes into its own. Now in 1250 guides with the shift cam as well, you don't notice the variable valve thing doing its thing. It just has got go everywhere, this bike. When you wind it up, it feels like a sports bike, it handles like a sports bike. But for a big old twin cylinder machine, it's just smooth, effortless power. So that's number 2 on my list. The brilliant engine on here. It's smooth and a joy to ride with. Well done BMW for keeping this engine alive for so long. Wonder what they're going to do with it next. Okay then, let's get to number 1 on my list. What is the favourite thing that I have about this bike? I've been riding this bike now for a couple of weeks, and I've been riding it as much as I can, and there's lots to love about this bike. It's quite hard actually to identify your top 5, because I've got about a list of about top 15. But I think when it all is said and done, as much as I love that engine, the thing that's really impressed me about this bike is, okay, cue that drum roll, is its handling and its comfort. Again, it's a sports tour, it's designed for that sort of thing. In terms of comfort, seats lovely and comfortable, riding position is nice and comfortable. But ally that with great handling as well. Round the twisties, you can really hustle this. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm not showing this round the twisties at the moment. But trust me, this bike can really hustle. Oh, and the brakes work well when people just walk out in front of you. Thank you, lady. Thank goodness for the electronic ABS. But yeah, if this road didn't have a speed limit, how much fun would it be to absolutely rip round these curves? They've just got it right this. I think it's because of the way the suspension is set up, the geometry of the bike. It sort of sits in that sweet spot. It's not all flighty. It feels like it wants to tip into the corners all the time, like some sports bikes do. And it's not so heavy and staid that you have to really manhandle it around the corners. It's just in that right spot between stable and agile. And I absolutely love that about the bike. And so that is the top thing that I love about the BMW RS. Its handling is absolutely cracking for such a big machine. Oh, come on, Mr. Ford Galaxy. Let's have a clear view. Anything coming? No, there's nothing behind. Cheerio, mate. Wow, this gearbox is amazing on here. So there we have it. That's the top 5 things I love about the R1250RS. I wonder if you agree with me. Maybe you're an owner of one of these bikes, or if you're on the lookout for something like this. Be really interested to hear in the comments what you like about it, and indeed what you don't like. I struggle to find things I don't like about the bike, really, except maybe the price. It really is a lovely bit of kit, and if I ever come to replace my GS, this bike will be in the mix with what sort of sport tourer I might want to replace it with, because I don't ride off-road. Well, certainly not on my bike. I can't afford to drop it. So if I just want to bike for long distances, it's things like this. The GSA has to be in there, and the GS again. Maybe the RT. The Yamaha FJR 1300, which I absolutely loved as well. So many great bikes now in the sports touring segment, but this is absolutely up there with the top of those machines, I'm sure. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed this brief video. Look forward to speaking to you again soon. Until then, this has been the Mr. Flyer. Cheerio. And today's white van of choice, the Transit Connect. The baby brother of the proper Transit. This one on a 54 plate, and looking fairly clean. Nice ladders on the top too.